What's up, guys? It's Will at Forge. Thanks for watching. We're going to be talking about today how do you figure out what the hell your life means, which is especially important in our generation, which is one of just depression memes and quality Rick and Morty episodes.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
So with that, we're always told, find your purpose and follow your passions, but like you do what makes money and makes sense. And there's so many conflicting things that people tell you what to do with your life, which is really awkward, especially when you're 18. You have to determine what that is, and whatever path you choose will put you $100,000 or $200,000 into student loan debt. So I found an incredible activity. Just mental exercise that really helped me define what my purpose is and help put my life in line. I just want to share that with you guys. But the price of entry of the secret of figuring out your entire life's purpose is hitting the like button, because we don't have a purpose unless you push that, because our purpose here is to amass likes and subscribers to become YouTube millionaires. That's really our whole purpose of being. No, but really, guys, we appreciate the support. Click that button down below and let's dive in. So the idea of a purpose is that it's built from a couple of different components. What you stand for, what you value, and what you're passionate about. The intersection of these three things is where we're going to find our purpose. And this is all based on an activity in a book called Way of the Seal, written by Mark Divine. One of my favorite books of all time. You can get it from the link in the description below. So the first thing that Mark Divine asks is, what do you stand for? And that's not an easy question to know, because you don't really know what you stand for until you're forced to stand for it. So the idea is to imagine certain scenarios and figure out how you would act in them. For instance, say that there was a terrorist attack or a natural disaster where you live. Think about how you would respond. Personally, I would make sure my family is safe. I have a wife and a daughter. Make sure that they're good. Once they're good, I would want to go out and deal with whatever threat that there is and help as many people as I could. So naturally, I'm standing for protecting your family. And then less important, but still important, protecting those who are unable to protect themselves and making sure that you're always lending a helping hand. Figure out what you would do in scenarios like this. Someone handed you $200 million. People were talking bad about a friend in the locker room. And from what you would do to these, write out statements. I stand for protecting my friends from physical or emotional or social harm. I stand for giving back to my community. Find 10 to 12 of these statements that mean the most to you. If you're looking for more questions to ask yourself, we actually have an activity in the Forge app, which you can get on the iOS or Android store, that will walk you through each of these questions to better define out your stand and also the other components of your purpose. So check it out, 100% free. Really just here to help you guys. So now that you have your stand, right, you know what you do in X scenario or Y scenario, figure out the things that you truly value. Now, I know that sounds like it's similar, but think about the actual attributes you want to move towards and attributes you want to move away from. And not just like generic things that you think sound good, like, well, it's good to be, positive. Like, drop the vanilla values. What gets you emotionally excited? And once again, find 10 or 12 of these attributes you want to move closer to or further away from. For me, I know that I'm typically a very impatient and demanding person, and that can cause issues with literally everyone I know. So I want to move towards patience. That's actually important to me. I can sometimes be judgmental and quick to judge, so I want to move away from being judgmental. Those are just two examples of things that I wrote down in my values. So we have our stand, we have our values. The third is, what are we passionate about? And once again, a series of questions that you can find in the app, but a couple examples are, what are some movies and books that really excite you? The gladiator of the idea of just standing up to evil by just being virtuous, holding yourself to your principles, and just being more of a badass than every single person that is willing to come after you. Also ask yourself, like, what are some of the moments you're most proud of? What was going on in those moments? What were you doing? Who were you doing it with? And from that, you can figure out what you're passionate about, what you value, what you stand for. And now, the purpose. There's a very important concept that Napoleon Hill wrote about. He wrote it in a book called Outwitting the Devil that's worth a whole video in and of itself, that he claims to have cornered and then interviewed Satan himself, and actually refused to release the book, and it was released after his death against not only his wishes but his late wife's wishes, out of just fear of what kind of things would happen if you told the world about what happened when you talked to the literal devil. But the main concept is that most people drift through life and that the devil can simply control them because they have no foundational purpose. The only way to break it is to have some kind of chief cause for your life that's well defined in a singular sentence or 2 or 3 sentences you can easily repeat. Now, whether you take that metaphorically or you take that literally, the idea is the same. You don't want to be drifting through life, because then you're just going to go with the flow and you're not going to get to the places you want to get to, live the life that you want to live. So the idea behind a purpose statement is think about your stand, your values, and your passions, and find a sentence or 2 or 3 that is a state of being. You know, Mark Devine, the gentleman who wrote it, was a Navy SEAL officer, successful entrepreneur, now successful author. He didn't make his purpose, I want to be an admiral in the Navy. I want to be a Navy SEAL. I want to be a successful business owner. Because those are identities that, say that roadside bomb goes off, he gets shrapnel on his leg. He doesn't die, but he can't be a soldier anymore. He can't be a Navy SEAL. Well, if his purpose was to be a SEAL, his entire identity was just stripped away from him from an event outside of his control. So instead, he made his purpose to be a warrior leader that's constantly mastering himself. That's something that, regardless of the occupation he chooses, the circumstances of his life, that's something he's always able to hold himself to. For me, I made my purpose that I'm a warrior Christ follower dedicated to virtue, excellence, and serving humanity. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. My purpose in it is always well defined. And there are things that I could never do that still align with my purpose, and I avoid doing those. But there are many things I have to go do that still fall within that. So I highly recommend grabbing the Forge app, going through this activity, getting this sentence down pat, because you want your purpose to be the kind of thing that when you're getting just the absolute crap beaten out of you by life, that you can just respond to that situation with what your purpose is, and that will remind you why you should keep pushing forward, why you shouldn't let it make you inert and drifting through life, and give you that reason to get back up, keep fighting, keep forging, keep on going. We love you guys. Please like, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube stuff, because like algorithm, and we want to have success. If you want to grab the book, description's in the link below. Any profits from the book or from the channel, we give 50% of those profits away to our different charity partners, so please support us with that. Catch us next time, and we'll see you soon, Forge Nation.